this video we are going to be unboxing the 16-inch 2019 MacBook Pro. Now this particular model I have in front of me is the best one you can get, and I'll explain why I said that in a second. As usual, before we start ripping into this box, let's take a look around it. Here in front we have this picture of this huge computer. Now around back is the reason why I said this is the best MacBook you can get. 2.4 GHz i9 CPU, which is the fastest. 8 gigs Radeon Pro graphics 5500M, which is the best graphics. 32 gigs of RAM, which really is all you need. You don't need 64 gigs. 1 terabyte of storage, which is the optimal storage anybody needs. If you need more, I advise to get an external drive. There's nothing else worth seeing on this box, just MacBook Pro written somewhere down here, Apple logos here and there. So let's get into this box. And then it is the 16-inch 2019 MacBook Pro. It looks huge. Let's leave this out. Place this to the side. In here we have this that says designed by Apple in California, and of course we have some literature in here and some stickers. Wow, space gray stickers. Now that's new. Love that touch. And here we have the 96 watt brick. Very nice, really fast charger. And finally we have that type C to type C cable, really long one. And believe me, there's nothing else in this box. Now back to exactly why we're here. Let's take this plastic off. The footprint of the 16-inch 2019 MacBook Pro isn't that much bigger than the 15-inch one from last year also. However, they've managed to design this new chassis that improves air circulation around the computer to solve the heating issues that were experienced in the older generation one, and at the same time install a larger 100 watt-hour battery, which is basically the biggest battery that you are legally allowed to carry onto an aeroplane. Now this is the silliest part of this video. Let's take a look at the ports we have on this computer. 2 Type-C ports here on the left, another 2 Type-C ports with headphones jack on the right, the end. Ooh. Now this does look very similar to the previous generation 15-inch MacBook Pro. However, there's been some significant changes. Firstly, the escape button and the Touch ID sensor has been separated from the touch bar, and this is really nice to see, especially a dedicated physical escape button. Secondly, we can see a return of the inverted T arrow keys here. The right and left buttons used to fill this area, and the most important one being that the keyboard is now a scissor switch keyboard and not the butterfly switch keyboard from the previous generations. This has a lot travel. In fact, it has 2 times as much travel compared to the butterfly switch from the previous generations, which means pressing the keys feels better. I also want to mention this huge trackpad. I mean, it covers almost half of the bottom area, which means it will be easy for you to locate. And as we all know, Apple makes the best trackpads, very precise tracking. If you're ever going to use a trackpad, I don't know why anybody would do that, just get a mouse. But if you're ever going to use a trackpad, it should be an Apple one. Very nice. One thing I actually like is that you can basically just plug in your Type-C cable into any of the ports and get your MacBook to charge. I'll quickly go ahead to set this up now and show you guys some other stuff. So guys, I'm done setting up this bad boy now. First thing I want to mention is that, well, the screen looks great, but it's not different from the previous generation one, just basically the same thing. But that's not a bad thing because the previous one was fantastic. This is great also. Now let's take a look at those specs. We go in here about this Mac. As you can see there, we have the MacBook Pro 2019 16-inch, 2.4 GHz, 8-core Intel Core i9, 32 gigs of memory, and graphics is the 8 gig dedicated AMD Radeon Pro 5500M. And I must say that the keyboard does feel very nice to type on, especially compared to the previous generation one. This one has a lot more travel and you get more feedback. In short, while I've been playing this computer now, I really like it. It seems really quick, but of course, I mean, it's pretty down high end, so you expect nothing less. Speaking of, when buying a 16-inch 2019 MacBook Pro, you want to buy exactly what you need. If you're a graphics designer or you just edit photos, what you want to do is you want to get the best CPU possible. If you are into more intense stuff like video editing, especially if you are working with raw footage, just like I do with my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera here, you want to go for the best graphics card. If you just use your computer to browse the internet, check your mails, watch movies, you'll be crazy to pick up something like this. Just get the latest MacBook Air that also has a Retina display, so you'll be fine with that. Don't touch this. Anyways guys, that's been the video. I'm going to try this computer out more starting now. I'm actually going to edit this raw footage using DaVinci Resolve on this computer and see how it runs. Hopefully I'll be able to get out a full review on this computer. If you